empty mind. Think I need to help you. I'm gonna try. Cute as hell, baby. Hotter than flames. Wanna burn together in a million ways. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless, but you to the test, yeah. I know I'm not gonna regret this. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. I wanna get reckless. Couldn't keep your poker face. But boy, you kept me waiting when I wanted to race. Sweet as hell, baby. You're a sugar rush. I knew you were given temptation, was craving. You love it, you hate it. Now let me take the lead. Know you wanna play with me. Got secrets you might wanna see. You might wanna see. You might wanna. Lock the doors, zip it off. Kiss my neck, but you want more. Scream your name deep in the night. Work your way around my thighs, explore my hips, my kind of light. I scream your name, I shut it down, 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 down. I know I'm not gonna regret this. Wanna get reckless, but you to the test, yeah. I know I'm not gonna regret this.
What's the story, NXT fans? We are one show away from NXT TakeOver.
Can't wait.
Tonight's topics on the Wrestle Story are: the Dusty Rhodes Classic comes to an end,
Shayna Baszler destroying the entire women's division.
Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole look to become the new NXT champion,
All that and more on tonight's Wrestle Story.
we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT. We also stream after every pay-per-view, and we will have special live streams with our predictions before every pay-per-view. And next week we'll be streaming a lot because there's a lot of stuff happening.
Every single day. We'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, per usual, for regular streams. Thursday will be our prediction stream for NXT TakeOver and WrestleMania. Friday is TakeOver. Saturday is the Hall of Fame, and Sunday is WrestleMania. I literally cannot wait. Can you wait? I can't wait. I'm so ready for next week. Like, next week is going to be, as the cool kids say, lit. I don't say that because I'm not cool. But
One day you might be cool.
it will be lit. It'll be so cool. I can't wait till next week. I literally can't wait.
Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you do not miss anything. And hit that little bell thing to let you know when we go live.
Every single week. Or every single week. Yeah, every single week. You do
Yes.
this. The little bell thing. The notification bell, man.
Yes.
Get it right.
The bell
So,
notification.
it's Wednesday. It is the second to last NXT before TakeOver. Amazing show. Amazing show. I like tonight a lot.
It wasn't too bad. The one thing NXT does is they cram a lot of information. They cram a lot of stuff into one show.
Yes,
I do wish they'd show a few more matches. But other than that,
Agreed.
The one thing,
and with the one of the matches they had this evening, it didn't end up getting to be the entire match. And I understand what they're doing with it because it's going along with the storyline going into TakeOver. So I get what they're doing with that. So yeah, matches would be the only thing I'd say I wish there were more of.
Well, but the one thing I will say is you generally the promos they do are tied into a story,
and really
they're to the point, and it's not like on SmackDown and Raw right now where it just seems like some of the things just have no point as to where they're going.
No sense. So with that being said,
we open the show with Adam Cole calling out Johnny Gargano.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed this promo. I thought it was a really good promo for both of them. It was very strong.
Definitely. I thought there was, the NXT crowd always is into it, so it makes it huge.
They were uber into this, though. And I know it's a small venue, just because it is at Full Sail, but, dude, the crowd was so loud.
Even for a small venue, they generally have the crowd into it.
They do. They always do. So, Adam Cole, he called out Johnny Gargano. And Johnny Gargano then came out. And the crowd started chanting, Johnny Wrestling Adam Cole. Johnny Wrestling Adam Cole. And they let them just yell that for just maybe 2 minutes. Maybe a minute. And then Adam Cole gets on the mic and he goes, for the record, shut up. I don't need you people. I know I'm good without you. And Gargano gets on the mic and he says, I enjoy your chants. I like them. Go ahead. Keep doing it. And so they chant Johnny Wrestling Adam Cole for another minute. And then Johnny Gargano starts out with, well, you said you had a million reasons as to why you're going to win the NXT Championship come next week. So, let me know. Let me hear your million reasons. And there is dead silence from Adam Cole. Dead silence. Doesn't say anything. They just look at each other. And then Johnny Gargano starts talking about, he's Johnny Takeover and everything that he's done thus far to get to where he is. And Adam Cole goes on to say, I fought for the best guys last week. And how in the world did you get into this match? I'm just wondering. What are your thoughts on this promo thus far?
Well, I thought it was, overall I thought it was really good.
I did too. Amazing promo. I feel like they have really good chemistry.
They do. And they got, they worked the crowd into it. They had perfect, work with the crowd, with the chants, with the silence. When Gargano was talking about, you have a million reasons, explain your million reasons.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job with this entire promo. And, even though it was a little longer than what I normally like, overall I thought it was a really good promo for what they had.
It was too. They're both really, really good on the mic. And this is why I said I think Adam Cole could go up to the main roster and be fine if they use him. That's the big thing. Johnny Gargano, I think, could go up to the main roster and be fine if they used him in the right way.
Oh, definitely.
Because they both are amazing in the ring, amazing on the mic. They have that personality. They have cool characters. And they would do amazing things on the main roster.
And they get over with the fans.
Even though Adam Cole is supposed to be the bad guy in this situation, and Johnny Gargano is supposed to be face, people are still behind Adam Cole. When Adam Cole won the match last week, the crowd went nuts. They were so excited to see that he won, and it wasn't Matt Riddle, and it wasn't Ricochet or Aleister Black or Dream. They were glad to see that it was Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Because he's that over.
Yeah. And I think that he does a really good job. I mean, does a good job in the ring. He does a good job on the mic. And I've always said, if you can do both, you'll be a superstar in wrestling.
I don't know why, but he kind of reminds me of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, a little bit.
he's got that kind of Shawn Michaels
attitude
and personality, kind of, where he's good on the mic and he does cool things in the ring.
Yeah, definitely.
So maybe that's like just me, but he reminds me of Shawn Michaels, and I'm a big fan of Shawn Michaels.
I agree. I think, he does a really good... He does remind me of Shawn Michaels, and, I mean, he does a lot of the things, and his mannerisms are a lot like Shawn Michaels.
See, I never like, thought of that comparison before until I literally just said it. I was like, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, he is kind of like Shawn Michaels. That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because I really like both of them. I like Adam Cole and
Definitely.
Shawn Michaels. Like, they are very similar. So he asked about Johnny Takeover because Johnny Gargano talked about being Johnny Takeover and going to Takeover and doing great things. And he goes, well, I don't know why you're calling yourself Johnny Takeover, because as far as I have seen, you haven't had the best track record at Takeover. So your nickname should be Johnny Participation.
Yeah, I thought it was, again, it was good back and forth. The crowd was into it. Their comeback lines were really good.
They were very
good. I thought,
good.
Johnny comes back with, I went from being a nobody. I was cut, they told me I would never make it during my tryouts. And
he talked about Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic when the whatever year that was, when he was in it. The first time with Ciampa. They said, they put the two of us together. Two guys who literally had nothing in common except for wrestling, who didn't know each other, who both were in, like, the independent circuit, who weren't signed with WWE. They put us in there, and they gave us a shot.
And then he talked about how he kept coming back. They kept calling him back and kept calling him back and kept calling him back, and finally he ends up making it on the NXT roster.
Which, very heartwarming story. Which kind of goes into the next thing where he finished up that portion of the promo, and Adam Cole just hops out of the ring. Well, Johnny Gargano's music hits, and he's, left standing there, and he's all smiles. And Adam Cole hops out of the ring, and he starts to walk up the ramp, and he gets on the mic, and he's like, oh, Johnny. Oh, what a heartfelt promo. It's like watching a Lifetime movie right in front of my eyes. And he goes, and then he talks about, the match again. And he says, Triple H said this match will be definitive, but it's going to be undisputed. And then, before that, he said, You want to know my reason as to why I will win the NXT Championship? And he just kind of like looks this way, and the Undisputed Era comes out, and is standing at the top of the ramp, and then he says, Triple H said, it will be definitive, but it will be undisputed. Yes. And then their music hits, and I love the Undisputed Era, man.
Again, this whole promo was good. I mean, it was 10 or 15 minutes, so it took a lot of the show.
But it was worth it. It built this up and made it look like more of a rivalry, and not just Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match at TakeOver.
It's the building of a storyline, and NXT does a good job with this, and has done a good job with it. With building their storylines.
Speaking of that, it's very funny because people on Twitter were like, can Asuka get promoted to NXT? Because honestly, right now, that she would be better off in NXT than on the main roster. And I just laughed because it's so true.
Well, this is part of why,
it's so true.
When we were talking, a month ago or so, month and a half ago, talking about Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano.
That's
possibly,
like Rondi.
Yeah.
We could make a whole new roster with all the names you come up with. Rondi and Johnny.
Yeah. When we talked about him possibly moving up to the main roster, I think he would have just got lost at the main roster because there's too many wrestlers that have
Johnny
gotten
Gargano
lost.
When they brought him up right now.
Yes. And, with all of the wrestlers that have been lost that aren't even being used for whatever reason, I think that this is probably the best spot for him is in NXT.
Now, with that being said, would they put the championship belt on him then to keep him in NXT and have a reason for him to be down in NXT?
I have thoughts. I'll wait till we do our show.
So that
next
means
week.
Subscribe and hit the notification bell, because next Thursday we will be on here to talk about
Yes, I'll give you my
TakeOver
thoughts on what I think.
and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Subscribe. Click the notification bell. Then you'll be notified on Thursday when we go live with our predictions for TakeOver and WrestleMania.
Yes. So
I think I have ideas too. I think it could go one of two ways. And again, I will wait to share my predictions till
next
Thursday. But little hint, I think it will be Undisputed.
Yeah, we know who you're gonna pick.
But that's one of
Tough
two.
hint.
But it'll go one of two ways, and I have two. Well, obviously, it'll either be Johnny Gargano who wins or Adam Cole who wins. So there's your two ways right there. But I will go more in depth next Thursday when we talk about that. So next on the show, we have Kacy Catanzaro and Lacey Lane versus Aliyah and Vanessa Borne. And this is Lacey Lane's debut on NXT tonight. I have seen her wrestle before. She was on the Mae Young Classic last year, the second Mae Young Classic. And she's an amazing competitor. Amazing competitor. She did great things in that tournament, and I thoroughly enjoyed her work. So it's really nice to see that she is now on NXT. And I always love Kacy Catanzaro. She's a beast, man.
Yeah, and,
she's a beast. That's literally the only way I can describe her. Beast.
This particular match is not a lot to say because it ended up being interference by Shayna Baszler, Marina Shafir, and Jessamyn Duke.
They came
basically,
out. Well, Kacy Catanzaro did fight back a little bit. She ended up getting out of the clutches of Shayna Baszler, and then she got caught up again.
But,
I understand why they're doing it.
Well, they're trying to make Shayna Baszler, people think that she's been disrespected and people hate her, and she feels that she's,
she
needs to destroy everybody
to
prove a point.
She actually went over to the announcer's desk after she left the carnage of the women in the ring. She went over to the announcer's desk and she said, this will keep happening until I'm respected. And I am not put in these situations that I'm put in right now. And that's all she said. And then she stepped up on the table and held up her NXT Women's Championship. I get why they're doing it. It's all to build a story. She's probably going to interfere next week with the women's match that is on the card, I'm assuming. So,
yeah,
it just makes sense.
Well, I think that this is leading somewhere down the road. Again, I'll share my thoughts next week. But I think that this is headed somewhere with some of the things that are happening on the main roster. I hope
I have ideas too, which I will share.
I hope it's not
later.
headed where I think it could be headed, but we'll wait and see. And again, I'll give you my predictions and let you know what.
I don't think I've heard anything of what he's talking about.
I'll let you know what I think is possibly going to happen, next Thursday.
Yes. So that's pretty much all that was. I want to see Kacy Catanzaro in more matches. I want them to use her more often.
Well, that's the one thing about NXT is, even though they do, their promos have storylines, there's some other things they do that they could have like a 5 or 10 minute match to fill time rather than, like
a 30-minute promo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt that the Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano thing was very needed because they didn't have anything really there aside from the fact that Adam Cole won the match last week. Triple H came out, said the NXT Championship is being Ciampa's giving it back because he can't defend it. He underwent neck surgery. Adam Cole was then put in that match after he won the 5-way match last week. And Johnny Gargano was just put in because that's what it was going to be before, was Johnny Gargano versus Ciampa.
And I agree.
And so they had to build on this somehow to make it make sense to have them have a rivalry or something. So it's not just Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano because they're advertising it as the main event for TakeOver.
I don't have an issue with them doing it every now and then. It's just there's some weeks that you'll have one or two matches on NXT because they've done all these promos and all the reviews of what happened the week before and stuff. So, you know, when we talk about having some of these other wrestlers, being able to see some of these other wrestlers more often, I think if they did it right, they could put these wrestlers out there and create storylines and do it that way. But, you know, they just don't do it.
I think that I would almost like to see NXT, like, on the WWE Network. Instead of it just being an hour long, I'd like them to extend it out another hour. So then you have 2 hours to work with, and then it's like SmackDown. I don't think 3 hours would be cool. I know, isn't SmackDown going to 3 hours? That's what I thought. I think for the main roster shows, 3 hours is okay if they do it right.
Well, they got enough wrestlers up there. The issue they have right now with the main roster is they don't use all the wrestlers.
Like I said, if they do it right, I think 3 hours is good.
They have these
for
promos
NXT,
that
2 hours I think would be better. So then you have an extra bit of time to see a few more matches, and they can build up more stories and use more talent, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you know, I said it. NXT does a better job of creating stories and creating the storylines and sticking with storylines than WWE does, or the main roster does, because it's all WWE. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So actually, like, I think SmackDown could be a good 2 hour show if they didn't have a gauntlet match every week.
Well, and that's the issue SmackDown has.
Because the gauntlet match, the thing I haven't liked about the recent weeks of SmackDown, the last, 3 weeks, is they have a gauntlet match. They've had a gauntlet match every single week, and that takes up the last hour of the show. So the first hour seems like it wasn't even worth anything, and you literally saw, this much, and that was it. And I'm like, oh, now we have a gauntlet match that I get to sit here for an hour to watch.
Yeah.
Which is what disappoints me there, and I think maybe extending that out to a 3 hour show, and then you do a gauntlet match in the last hour of that, and then at least you have 2 hours of something that isn't just an hour of Becky Lynch and Kevin Owens and Charlotte Flair in a ring.
Yeah.
And one other match on the card.
Yep.
And so I think just using your time more wisely. That's the point I'm trying to get across, WWE.
Definitely. So then we have Matt Riddle versus Kona Reeves. Match is going on. Velveteen Dream comes out.
On a couch, might I add.
He was chilling.
With his championship belt. It was like a rolling couch. It looked like a nice couch.
Yeah. So he distracts Matt Riddle. Kona gets the upper hand.
But Matt Riddle comes back. He gets Kona Reeves in a submission.
Yes.
And he taps out.
And so after the match, Matt Riddle walks up to the ramp.
Well, actually, before this, Velveteen Dream got on the mic, and he announced him as the winner. The announcer got on the mic and was about to say, Matt Riddle won the match by submission. And Velveteen Dream got on the mic, and he says, and your winner and my challenger at NXT TakeOver New York, Matt Riddle. And then Matt Riddle went up and he said, I'll see you at TakeOver, bro.
Yeah, he walks up and has...
And when he says bro at the end of it, it gets under Velveteen Dream's skin, because it has in the past. And you can just, see it on his face. He really sells it. It gets under his skin.
Yeah,
when he goes, bro, because he's like, I'm not your bro, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
and
your
I
bro.
said, last week I said I wasn't real, prior to last week or the last couple of weeks, I wasn't real impressed with Matt Riddle. He's kind of started to grow on me.
I love him. And you have to love him when my baby brother, he gets down and he dances to the bro, bro, let him know, bro. You just have to like him then.
Yeah, it's funny.
You can't not like him, Dad. Let's be real.
Yeah, I know.
It's just too cute.
Yeah, just because your brother dances to him.
Yeah, and now you're like, okay, well, I feel obligated, I have to like Matt Riddle.
Yeah. But he has done a really good job with his promos. Hey, Bendy.
Hello, Bendy. How's it going?
So like I said, he's grown on me. I've started to become kind of a fan of his. And so, but I also like Velveteen Dream, so...
I do too. I don't know who I'm going to go with in this match yet. I still have a week to think about it and decide and play out different scenarios. But I am so torn on who's going to win this match. Literally so torn.
Yeah, I'll give you my prediction.
So that means you already have your...
Next Thursday.
You already have your pick. I don't. I'm really torn because I do really like both of them, and I don't know who's gonna... I have ideas of what they could do with it, but I don't have my pick yet, just because I'm torn. I like them both a lot. So next, they show that Kairi Sane and Bianca Belair will have a singles match next week on NXT. I'm assuming Shayna Baszler is probably going to come out, and she is going to destroy them both. And then Io Shirai comes out, and maybe takes out Baszler, and then Io Shirai is left standing.
Probably not, because I think you'll see Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir come out and help out.
Good point.
I think that...
Good point. Well, then maybe Kairi Sane and Io Shirai. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I think you'll end up seeing Shayna Baszler come out and then Io Shirai at the end. And whether she gets decimated or if she ends up standing tall, I think you'll see all 4 women who were in that match on Friday, next Friday. You'll see all 4 of them in the ring.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what will end up happening.
Probably with Shayna Baszler standing tall.
So that leads us to the last match of the Dusty Rhodes Classic.
The last match of NXT. It's the last match on NXT, but it's also the last match in the Dusty Rhodes Classic Series.
Yes.
For this year. Very exciting stuff. Now, who won, might you ask? Well, we're about to tell you because it was an awesome match.
Well, if you've been paying attention, you probably know who won.
Well, yeah.
I mean...
It's been over for a couple hours now, so, you know.
Yeah, but
I
mean,
mean,
if you'd been
awesome
paying attention
match.
to anything that's happened on Raw and
I already
SmackDown
said who was going to win.
I
I was saying who was going to win 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I knew. Now, where they go with this, I have ideas. And it includes WrestleMania. So, again, I'll talk about that on next Thursday. It's really hard not to talk about things on here because we got a prediction stream coming up here.
Yes.
So, it's like, don't spoil things for yourself. Man.
Yes, but we leave our fans on the edge of their seats so they come back next Thursday. Which is why you need to hit that... That's why you need to hit that bell so you know when we go live.
Yeah.
Or you could follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, also on Twitter. I'm on Twitter a lot.
The Wrestle Story.
And so I talk about a lot of things, so it may end up coming out on there if I'm in some talking to people.
You could also follow us at Maven Gleen.
Yo.
And
check
you
me
can
out.
also follow us at
The Wrestle Story. I'm on Twitter.
Mr_Gleen.
All the time. Like, literally all the time.
She is on Twitter more than me, so...
I am, every day. Like, from the
She
minute
will
I
give-
wake up, I check Twitter, and, like, new stuff happens, and I'm like, oh, cool, retweet that, retweet this. And then I, like, go about my day, and I check Twitter just throughout the day.
Yes.
I'm a Twitteraholic now. It used to be Instagram. Now it's Twitter.
Yeah, so,
Twitter has taken
she
over my
will have
life.
the information out before I do.
I will, because I am on Twitter a lot. So, last match of the evening. Last match of the Dusty Rhodes Classic. It was pretty obvious where they were going with it. Ricochet and Aleister Black ended up winning. I said there was a very small chance that the Forgotten Sons were going to win if they were going to try and give them a big push and put the title belts on them. But they aren't, which I'm happy about because I don't want to see that happen. Now, this means, actually, before I get into that, I'll talk about the match real quick because there were a few things, that happened in the end here. So the two competitors, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler, were competing in the match, and then Jaxson Ryker ended up trying to get involved, and he got thrown from ringside, so then it was more of an even fight near the end of the match. Then Ricochet and Aleister Black got the win, and they will be going to TakeOver to fight for the Tag Team Championships. Then, after that, the War Raiders came out for the first time in forever. Literally, when have you seen them on TV recently?
Last
time you saw them on TV was like the week after when they won the titles.
I was going to say, it's been a month and a half.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, are they going to keep the belts on them? Because they haven't been on TV.
But if you think about it, what have they really done with any of the tag teams on the main roster or NXT?
I mean, they've been focusing on the tag teams more recently because they're doing the Tag Team Classic. But to me, because they haven't had the War Raiders on TV, it makes me think that they're probably going to take the belts off them at TakeOver.
Well, you've seen more Ricochet and Aleister Black as a tag team on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT than any other tag team out there.
I know, which is why I have theories that I will share next Thursday.
All right.
I have a lot. I have a lot running through this small head. Okay, there's a lot. So, anyways, the Roar Raiders. See, there we go. Another made-up name to add to our made-up roster that we have going on with Ronda Rousey, with I don't even know what you said.
I don't remember either. I have to go back and watch the video to tell you.
Johnny Gargano.
Johnny Gargano.
And now the Roar Raiders.
Johnny's brother.
They'll be dinosaurs. The Roar Raiders.
Yes.
Anyways, so the Roar Raiders, they come out to the ring. They get in the ring. And it ends. The show ends with a stare down between the two tag teams.
Yes.
So, I'm very curious to see where they're headed with this. It was very obvious that Ricochet and Aleister Black were going to win. Now, where they go from here can only be up. So, big theories coming next week. So, again, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell. So then you know when we go live next Thursday talking about our predictions for TakeOver and WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Who else is excited for WrestleMania week? Anybody else? Because I am uber excited. Like, I am very excited. You have no idea. This is the best week of my life. Well, next week will be the best week of my life. Come Sunday. Monday, I guess, because it wouldn't be Sunday. Come Monday.
I am checking Twitter.
It will begin the best week of my life.
You hope.
I hope. Oh, were you looking up the
what superstar
Billy Graham said?
Billy Graham said about Kofi Kingston.
I saw that on Twitter. I'll see
it?
if I can find it. I did.
Here it is.
Ah, you found it. I was gonna say if you don't have it, I have it somewhere.
I thought this was pretty disrespectful, and I liked superstar Billy Graham, but so superstar Billy Graham posts on Twitter. Is the WWE serious? I turned on my computer today and went to the wrestling news sites, and what did I see? Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Mania. Talk is Vince is going to put that WWE belt on Kofi Kingston. You, not me, will have a 145-pound WWE champion. This must have been an idea by the new senior creative lady Danny Warrior. Then it goes on to talk about Dave Meltzer says she has been promoted to an extremely high position on the creative team and attends meetings that only Vince, Triple H, and Steph are in. How did she get so smart? My friend Hannibal has been monitoring the Monday Night Raw steady decline in TV viewership. Well, Hannibal, it dropped again last night in Boston, Monday, March 25th. Steady decline in TV viewership. I predict that this year's Mania will be so bad that next year, 2020, will not come close to selling out. The thrill is gone. Is anyone out there really excited to see these two lightweights wrestle for the WWE Championship? Oh, one more thing. I would love to see Kofi at 145 pounds put his newly won WWE belt on the line against Brock Lesnar. Great logistics. One man being outweighed by a good 135 pounds. A total joke.
First off, okay? Before we get anywhere into that, what in the world? Why are we talking about Kofi Kingston versus Brock Lesnar? Are we looking ahead to Survivor Series? When you do champion versus champion? Is that what we're talking about? There's not even... there's a possibility Brock Lesnar won't be champion come then. There's a possibility Kofi Kingston won't be champion come then. And so what? So what if you have Kofi Kingston? It's no different than Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar,
No, it isn't. And the one issue I have with everything he said is the smaller, quicker, faster wrestler now is they're lean, they're athletic, and they are dangerous. And so you can't just take the big guy because you have to be doing some crazy stuff to get over.
I.e. Shane McMahon.
You can't just come out and flex your muscles. There's not many Hulk Hogans out there that can get the crowd over and get people pumped that are big.
Not anymore.
I mean, even Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar doesn't get the crowd going. And so...
No, he doesn't, because people hate him.
Because he doesn't say anything.
He doesn't say anything. He doesn't defend his championship. I don't like that scenario at all, the Brock Lesnar-Kofi Kingston, because it's literally no different than what they're going to do this year at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar. Seth Rollins is the little guy. Brock Lesnar is the bigger guy.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins is like the same size as Kofi Kingston. So what in the world does any of that have to do with anything?
Nothing. And then he talks about the ratings dropping. The ratings have dropped because the storylines in general have been bad. They have not had good storylines.
And I don't...
If you had Kofi Kingston, right, with the way they've dealt with him, you know, telling him that you're not going to go to Mania and all this stuff, and kind of jerking him around, and doing the same thing with Becky Lynch, where she was injured, then they threw Charlotte Flair into the mix, and I think it turned people off.
Mm-hmm.
And so the ratings aren't dropping because Kofi Kingston is going to Mania to wrestle for the title. If anything, I think they're probably going to get people to go to it because there's a chance Kofi Kingston is going to win the title.
Because it's something that people have wanted to see.
And because, you know, Becky Lynch is finally back off the crutches and will be going for the title.
In the main event.
And now that they've thrown in there, you know, with last night's deal, and I don't know if they're going to unify the titles or not. From what I've seen, they're probably not going to. They're going to have Charlotte be the champion on SmackDown, and then Becky Lynch be the champion on Raw. Which goes back to my theory that stay tuned, because I will tell you next week on our
So in other words,
show.
Which goes back to my theory of keep an eye on us because we'll be back on Thursday. That's my theory.
Next Thursday.
Oh, yeah, next Thursday.
Don't say Thursday, because Thursday's
not this
tomorrow.
Thursday. Next week.
Yes.
Next week. Oh my gosh.
But I think that, you know, the whole idea of what he said is totally off base, and
it came off it's very disrespectful towards Kofi, towards, like, I mean, I would say Dana Warrior too, because he's pulling her into it, saying, you know, all right, it's probably going to hurt dumb ideas. It's very just disrespectful in general. And for him, is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
I'll look that up real quick.
I just think that it came off bad.
Very bad.
If he's looking for, you know, the big monster to be your champion, I think with the way wrestling is now, you need that high flying. And then it's why people don't like Brock Lesnar. In my opinion, is, well, first off, he never shows up. He's only there, like, you know, 4 times a year. But outside of that, you know, he's not a high-flying, you know, do these tricks type person. Which, you know, Shane McMahon is a perfect example of it. He does crazy stuff when he wrestles, which is why I think he gets over with the fans in his matches. And so when you have these high-flying people, I think that, you know, what Superstar Billy Graham said kind of is way off base.
Agreed. I'm looking it up real quick if he is a Hall of Famer, because I would like to see if he is. Because especially coming from somebody, he is. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. So
I thought he would be.
Like, it's just not good.
No, it comes off bad.
It comes off very bad, and I think he might have been possibly trying to get some attention because of it is big right now, and if he like badmouthed it, he'd get a lot of heat for it.
Might.
And so, I mean, maybe that's what he was trying to do.
I don't know why he needed attention, because, you know, he's not in the...
I don't either, which makes no sense to me, but it's a thought as to why he put that out there in the first place.
Yeah.
But, very disrespectful.
Definitely.
So,
I think that
is it for today. The only other thing that I did see on Twitter today was, if you had noticed, Josie was off of WWE TV in the last couple months, and she hasn't been doing ring announcing. Well, she announced today her pregnancy, and that Bray Wyatt and her, they're together, and they're having a baby, and it's due in June.
So we probably won't see Bray Wyatt for a while.
Probably not. Well, she did say in her tweet that she put out that we will be back when we are ready. So that would make you think that they're both going to come back around the same time.
Well, I figured she'll probably stay out for a little longer.
Probably.
And I figured he can come back after, in July or something. Maybe at SummerSlam.
Oh, July is Extreme Rules. He could come back for Extreme Rules. That would be kind of cool. He could make a return for SummerSlam, too.
Yeah.
Which would be, again, another big pay-per-view.
Started giving him a push, in July. Or at least starting to get him out there.
So then he's ready for SummerSlam in August.
As long as they don't do like they did with Kevin Owens.
No. Don't do that, man. That made Kevin Owens... It put heat on Kevin Owens is what it did. It made him look bad from the very beginning. He's making his return to take Kofi Kingston's spot. That's not what we wanted to see.
Well, then look what they did with him after, they did this.
They had him on TV last week on SmackDown for the Kevin Owens show, where the main focal point was supposed to be Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, so they've done, since...
Which didn't do him any good.
No.
He was kind of comedic in it, which I will give him that. It was very funny, but other than that, it did nothing for him. Becky and Charlotte just overshadowed him. So, doing his return, he'll probably just be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Probably.
One other thing I did want to mention real quick is they haven't announced the Women's Battle Royal yet. Do you think they will do that this week, or will they not have that at all?
I think it'll be announced this week.
I would assume it would be announced this week. You got to put Asuka on the show somewhere, I guess,
Well, there's
in the Battle Royal.
Again, you have a lot of talent there that you could put in there.
And a lot of talent that was disappointed after
And obviously,
this
the goal is to get as many people on WrestleMania as possible, so...
It makes sense to Battle Royal. And I'm curious to see who else they put in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm sure there will be some, surprise entrants.
Could be.
So I'm very curious to see what they announce with this next week. So, very exciting stuff. Again, we stream every Monday after Raw, every Tuesday after SmackDown, every Wednesday after NXT, and we also stream after every pay-per-view. We also do a pre-show, our predictions, this time. Next week it will be a Thursday because TakeOver is on Friday. And then we have the Hall of Fame. So you will get to see us for 7 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So hit that bell button thingy.
Yeah, hit the subscribe button and then hit the notification bell so you're notified when we go live.
Yeah.
If you liked the video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, you can give it a thumbs down. Whatever you choose.
So
again, we'll be back on Monday.
With that,
unless there is some news or something.
Yes.
That comes out in the next couple days. So
peace out.
Yeah. Bye guys.